Hi, this is Ann with Graphic Design How To, and today I'm going to show you how to add page numbers to all the artboards in your Illustrator document. All right, let's get started. Now, Illustrator doesn't have a built-in capability to do this, but Katya Biem over at productivista.com has figured out a way by writing a script, a free script that anyone can download. And while you're there, check out the rest of the site. She is really amazing at both writing scripts and just Illustrator in general. And I made another video about one of her scripts if you want to check that out. It'll be right up here at the top of your screen. All right, so let's head over there. Okay, so I'm here at productivista.com, and we're going to want to go here to scripts and then come down to the very bottom to the page indexer script. And I'll also leave a direct link in the description below. I'm going to click on page indexer. I'm going to come up here, this is on Chrome, and then go to the download itself. And when you do that, it actually just unzips it. Another way to do this, if you're on a PC or something, you can just go to your downloads. It should be over here in your favorites, and then double click or right click and choose extract on the zip file. And you should end up with this pageindexer.jsx document. Now we'll want to go ahead and install this in our scripts folder. So I'm going to get a new window up. On a Mac, you'll hit Shift Command A, and that'll get me to my applications folder. Then you'll go to the version of Illustrator that you use the most often, then go to Presets, ENUS, and then Scripts right down here. And I'm just going to go back to my downloads and drag that in there. We'll have to authenticate with a username and password. And this will be the same one that you use to install anything. Now you only have to do this once. After this, Illustrator will always have this as an option. If you're on a PC, a 32-bit, you'll want to go to C, Program Files x86, Adobe Illustrator 2023, Presets, ENUS, and then Scripts. And then on a 64-bit one, here's the path for that. Now, after this, you'll need to restart Illustrator. But as I said, you only have to do this once, and then the script will always be in your scripts list. Okay, so I'm here in Illustrator, and I'm going to open up a sample file with a whole bunch of pages. So I'll come up here to File, Open, and open that up. But you can use whatever document you need this for, of course. Now there are two ways for how you want your page numbers to appear. If you want your page number to have one digit like this, you'll need to type $P. And if you want it to have two digits like this, you'll need to type $PP. If you're used to HTML, this is how tags are usually written. You can also add the total number of pages as 1 or 2 digits. And this document has 10 pages. So if you want to do that, it will be $PS. And because this has 10 pages, it's going to be exactly the same with the 2-digit version. So this would be $PPS. So those are the codes that you need to put on the page here. When you're writing your page number text, you'll want to use a text frame. You can use point text, which is when you get on your text tool, you just click once and then type $P, for example. But even if you center this on the page and you run this script, this is not going to stay centered. So the best thing, in my opinion, to do is to do a text frame. I'll just draw that. I'll type my page tag. I'll get back on my selection tool. I'm going to just horizontally align this to center, and also centering the paragraph by hitting Shift Command C on a Mac or Shift Control C on a PC. You can also open your paragraph panel and choose this center one, so doing the same thing. If you're not seeing any of these panels, they are all under Window. This one is under Type and Paragraph right here. You can have other words in your text frame, that's just fine. So I'm going to put page, and then we'll have the actual page number here, and I'll add of $PS. And that is the number of pages in the whole document. So after we run it, it should say page 1 of 10. I also want to change my font, so I'll do that real quick. I like Montserrat, and we'll just put it at Montserrat semi-bold. I'm going to go ahead and just delete these other things. So that is the first thing you need to do. You need to use the code that will allow the script to know it's a page number. The second thing you need to do is open your Layers panel. To do that, we'll hit F7 on the keyboard. It's also under Window, Layers right here. I'm going to move this up here and I'll just do the drop down. Make sure your page number text frame is highlighted. You'll be able to see that in your Layers panel. It'll have a little blue square next to it. Now we need to rename this, and renaming this tells the script, hey, this is a page number. So you'll need to put page space capital N lowercase r. And I'll just put it on the page itself so you can see what it looks like in my Layers panel. I suppose I could make this a little bigger too. We'll go to File, Scripts, and Page Indexer. And now you can see what it's done. It's added the page numbers to all 10 pages. Okay, so now I'm going to go over some tips for using this. This is not like INDESIGN where if you reorder your pages, it'll automatically update. You'll have to run this script again if you want different things on different pages. Tip: keep a template document for later use. Once you set this up with page P, a PS, or whatever, it's a good idea to keep this text frame in a document somewhere so you can use it as a template and just copy and paste it into your new document. It will already be named correctly in your Layers panel. Then all you would have to do is change your font, colors, and that kind of thing to match your new document. Run the script and it'll automatically put all the numbers on. Tip: make sure your artboards are ordered correctly. Another thing to note is that the artboards, the numbers of the artboards go off the numbers here on the left side. So even though this says artboard 1, you could move this down here and now it's artboard 5 and it's going to be labeled as page 5. I'll undo that. So it's good to make sure that all of your artboards are actually in the correct order in your artboards panel. This panel is also under Window. Scenario: get numbers to start on a specific page. Let's say we want it to start on page 5, so we would want page 5 to actually say page 1. And this is pretty common in a lot of books. You know, you have your first 4 pages that don't really have to do with the rest of the book, and then page 1 starts on the 5th page, for example. In that case, open up your artboards panel, select artboards 1 through 4, and just drag them to the bottom. So now it sees artboard 5 as page 1. Now when we run the script, File, Scripts, Page Indexer, when we come down here to page 5, we can see it's page 1. Now you might have noticed that all of these page numbers kind of drifted upward. I've noticed that whenever I change the artboard locations. So if that's the case, you can always just select those and pull them back down. And if you're having trouble selecting them because of other things on the page, undo it and put this on a new layer. So we've got layer 1 here. I'll make a new layer and put it on there. We'll rerun it. And now I can lock this lower layer. So now if I select everything, I only have the page numbers and I can move them around and that kind of thing. And then these top 4 pages won't have page numbers, so you can just select those and delete them. Also in this case, you wouldn't want it to say page 1 of 10 because when you get out here, you only have 6 of 10. So I would leave of 10 off in this case. And that is the PS. So after you're done with this, you can always take these artboards and move them back up to the top. It won't change the page numbering as I mentioned before. Scenario: get numbers to alternate left to right. So what if you want every other number on the opposite side? Let's say you want page 1 over here and page 2 over here, page 3 here and page 4. So right, left, like that. In that case, I would rearrange your artboards to be 2 columns. So we'll go ahead and do that. I undid all the way back to where I have the little codes again. And this time I'm going to come up to my artboards panel. I'm going to choose the 3 lines, rearrange all artboards, and then I want to make sure my layers are unlocked. I'll choose this first option, grid by row. I want 2 columns, and I want to move the artwork with the artboard. And we'll say OK. Okay, so this kind of gives us the layout that we want. We're going to put a page number here and then a page number here. I'm going to click on my text frame and then I'm going to choose align left for the paragraph. Then I'll move it right over here. And so this is what I want for all the ones on the left side. Now I want to make a copy of this, so I'll click it and hit Command-C or Control-C, and now I'll run the script. File, Scripts, Page Indexer. And now it's put all the page numbers on the left side. I'm going to zoom out with Command- or Control-, and I'm going to lock that lower layer. And I'll select everything on the right side and just delete it. Then I'll make a new layer. I'm also going to lock layer 2. And then on layer 3, I'll paste in front with Command-F or Control-F. This will put it exactly where it was before, except this time I'm going to do a line right. And I'll pull this over so it's about the same distance from the edge. And then we'll run the script again. So now it's run and it's put a page number on the right side. Now we can just select all these on the left and delete those. So it's a little bit of a process, but this is how you can get your page numbers on alternating sides of the page. Scenario: fix page numbers not showing up on some pages. Now let's say some pages have a dark background and your page number isn't showing up because it's also dark. So I've opened a new document where this problem could happen. Let's say you have a photo or something here. This time I'll make a white version of the page number, but first I'm going to save a copy of the document. So I'll hit Shift-Command-S or Shift-Control-S on a PC, and I'm going to call this Page Numbers White. I'm going to highlight my text with the text tool, and then I'll come up here to color and just choose white right here. Now you'll notice I already have the page in R because this was copied in here. Now when you do this, you'll want to make sure that it's on a new layer. So I'll go ahead and create one. I'll click on my text box and then I'll pull this little blue dot up onto the upper layer. Then we'll go ahead and run the script. So these two pages, page 7 and 8, have white page numbers. I'm going to go ahead and select these. You'll notice this artboard is selected, page 7, so just notice which is selected. I'll copy them, and I'm going to open up that original file with the dark background. I'll make sure to click on this artboard. I'll make a new layer, and then I'll paste in front with Command-F or Control-F, and it'll put those in exactly the right spot. Now I need all the rest of the page numbers, so I'm going to click on this, I'm going to make a new layer, and I'll just drag that one to the new layer. Then I'll lock the two layers I'm not using, and I'll run the script. Okay, now this is fine, except it also put them on page 7 and 8. We just can't see them very well. So I've selected both of those, and I'm just going to delete. And that leaves our white page numbers here, and they're on this other layer. So those are all the situations that I could come up with. If you have another scenario or you're not able to get this to work, please leave a comment in the comment section. And if the video helped you, that is also great to hear. So please leave a comment in that case too. All right, I hope you liked this video. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, you can just hit the subscribe button and the little bell next to it, and you'll be notified every time a new video comes out. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.